Master Duel is some of the most cancerous type of Yu-Gi-Oh! That has been around in ages. Your entire opponent gets to put up a crazy imp board and you don't get to play. Or now, with a new deck, which is Runic, you lose your entire deck unless you have the correct countermeasures. These annoying and unfun decks were one of the few reasons why I actually quit Master Duel a few months ago. But then, I saw something in a most recent tournament that made me want to come back to this game. This deck placed top 8, and it was Armed Dragon. Now this Armed Dragon deck is nothing to laugh about. This is a deck that is crafted beautifully, that has answers to so many things, and is also able to completely prevent your opponent from playing the game, which is magnificent. This was the deck that I wanted to make my return with, and dare I say, start my villain arc. So, of course, this is a Armed Dragon deck, even though with our inboard, you may not be able to tell it was an Armed Dragon deck. Still, these cards are extremely useful. Pretty much the game plan with this deck is that we try to get to Pow Armed Dragon. This guy right here is the king. Pow Armed Dragon, what it allows us to do, it allows us to send a Wind Dragon or one other level 7 or higher dragon monster to the graveyard to special summon it from the hand, which is, you know, pretty standard. Okay, whatever. Well, he also has another effect. This other effect is once he's on the field, you're able to use this effect to send a card to the graveyard. It could be any level 7 or lower Armed Dragon, which most of the time you're going to be sending the level 7 Armed Dragon, which will allow you to search for Armed Dragon Flash, which is a very powerful spell that allows us to special summon a level 3 Armed Dragon from our deck, aka our extender, as the cool kids call it nowadays. But you don't always have to send Armed Dragon level 7. You could also choose to send your Armed Dragon level 5. Level 5 will allow you to search for any level 5 or higher dragon monster in your deck. But you can see, that's exactly what I do in this gameplay. Upon using that, that will allow you to search for the one and only Tempest. Now, Tempest Dragon Ruler is another card that is absolutely toxic and I think is actually banned in the TCG. This card will allow us to banish 2 monsters from our graveyard, 2 dragon monsters to be specific, and then it will special summon itself onto the field. Upon doing this, you guys can tell, look at that. 2 level 7s. You know what this means, ladies and gentlemen? That means that we get to go into one of the most toxic cards in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Tomahawk. If you guys don't know what Tomahawk does, pretty much, you see this clear field that we have? Well, we activate the effect, and guess what we get? Tokens. Lots of tokens. Now with all these tokens, we have a few options, a few things that we can do. But the main thing that we're going to be doing is link summoning into our infinite loop combo, which is the main strength of this deck, but not the only one. We may be out of cards sometimes, but we are never out of options. So what we do is we link off the Tomahawk and one of the tokens to summon out Harpy Conductor. And you may be like, what does this card do? I haven't seen this at all. You may not even know what this card does, and guess what it does? Nothing. The only reason why we use it is because it is a link to Wing Beast. We need a Wing Beast to summon out our other card, which is the one and only Samorg. With Samorg being on the field, this isn't it though. We need to make this even more toxic. We use the other 2 tokens to make Union Carrier. Then we use Armed Dragon Flash. Armed Dragon Flash will allow us to special summon out the level 3 Armed Dragon. We then can use both the Armed Dragon that we just summoned and the last token to summon out the one and only Masquerena. Then we can use Union Carrier. I mean, you could have used it before if you wanted to, but I mean, you could use it whenever. Use Union Carrier, and then you attach Mist Valley Thunderbird. Mist Valley Thunderbird is what allows this loop to be so oppressive. This card says whenever it's returned from the field to the hand, you can special summon it back out onto the field. Here's the thing though, this isn't once per turn. You can do this infinitely, which is what causes this infinite loop to happen. Now for the end phase, Samorg activates his effect, summons out the Avian, and now we have the entire loop. The only thing that can stop us now is a Kaiju, of a Golem, Dark Ruler No More, Spear of Ra, and if they get any of those, you know what? Skill issue, they're just better. He tries to activate this pathetic spell card. Then I activated Avian. Upon activating Avian, I saw that he could activate something else, which made me extremely nervous. I thought he had something that could counter me, something that I didn't see, something that I wasn't planned for, but he did Branded Opening, which is perfectly fine with me. I actually was okay with that. I got the negate off, and then I got to activate Thunderbird, but upon activating Thunderbird, he actually gets to chain link his monster that he just sent to the graveyard. But lucky for us, we don't even have to use Avian if we don't want to. We could use Call by the Grave, which is exactly what we do. If we had to, if we were backed into a corner for some reason, I would have had to have actually let the Avian fly off right there. He grabbed his Branded Fusion, thinking that he could do something. Maybe he was able to outplay this. But you guys all know, once you're in this, you can't get out of it. He then summons another Jester, and I see what he's trying to do here. He's trying to go into the battle phase so we can swing over our poor little bird that is Thunderbird. I myself was not going to let that happen. So what did I do? I gave Thunderbird an AK-47. And this AK-47 was known as Avramax. Once Avramax was on the field, it was over. There was nothing else this lad could do, and he surrendered. You may be like, oh, OP's gonna even show more gameplay, maybe even a montage, which may be partially right on that. I am gonna show more gameplay, but I'm not gonna show a montage of any kind because, yeah, I did actually just get this combo off against like every other player that I went up against, and no one had an answer for it. I noticed that a lot of our counters that I'll talk about in a little bit aren't too prevalent in the current meta. This next gameplay is pretty good. It's a live commentary, just like the old days. And not only just that, everything didn't go quite as planned in this one. This ain't too bad. The only bad part is that if he actually negates this, which he could very well negate it. I hope he doesn't though. No Ash Blossom. Activate level 5. Level 5 allows it to search for any level 5 or higher Wind Dragon, which means we can grab whatever we want. And for this, since we just need something else, I guess grabbing Dragonuity isn't bad. We'll grab him because we already have the other big boy in the hand, Tempest. Then we activate Pow Arm Dragon. I want to always call him Pow Arm Driver for some reason. And then with this, we get to send this guy. We didn't buff up the boy Pow Arm. Get to level 7. Watch this. Watch the search, guys. Watch the search. Ooh, so much skill. So much skill in that. Then we activate Tempest Dragon. And then you guys know what's coming after this. You guys already know what's coming after this. He's going ahead. Let me see the toxicity. He could have activated a lot of stuff before now, but it's pretty much over. The only thing that can save him is a Kaiju for next turn or a Nibiru right here. I swear to God, if his field lights up, I'm going to scream. Okay, it doesn't light up. I noticed that not a lot of people play Nib anymore compared to how they used to back in the day. Maybe people can't fit Nib into their builds. You know, a lot of people wanted to stay at like 40 card decks. But not having Nibiru running around actually helps this deck exponentially. Then go into the boy Samorg. Then with some more, we go into the other toxic card, which is the one and only Union Carrier. Then we grab our Miss Valley Thunderbird, equip it right there. Look at that, very nice. Activate our Armed Dragon here. Now we have the toxic strat on the field. Infinite negates, he's in a loop right now. The only thing that can save him is a Kaiju. Son of a bitch. Actually, that's not too bad. I still have my negate on the field, but he did actually get some more, which does suck. But I still have a negate because I can just send back Apex Avian. So you can special summon a zombie tuner. I think one of the zombie tuners searches Zombie World, and I don't want any part of that. So I think I'm going to negate this. That's my one negate right there, but I still do have IP Masquerena on the field, which means that if he summons something else, I actually can link summon out into... I haven't used her yet, but she is in here. Wait, no, she's not. I took her out. Oh, no. I forgot I took her out of this variation, but I could have used Underworld Goddess in this situation to get rid of it, and... ooh. Summon Nightmare Unicorn. Nightmare Unicorn's effect activates. I get to discard whatever card I want, which is actually going to be Graham in this situation. Oh, I thought his name was Garm. Whoops. Then I get to draw a card. Absolutely. You know, take that. Ooh, the Ultimate Slayer. But too bad it wasn't needed at all. Dare I say, we have won this battle, ladies and gentlemen. This guy's mad too. I know he is. I'm pretty sure he's never run into this deck, and he just got bodied by a Union Carrier. But he also got demoted. I feel bad. But you know what? I don't at the same time. Also, there is another variation, which I think I showed you guys in the intro as well, which is the one that placed top 8 in the most recent tournament that was ran by Decade. And that one is pretty good, but I think that one's going to be better at higher levels of play in the beginning. I think this one may be better just because it kind of beats out a lot of different options compared to the other one, which I feel like is more so to counter a lot of the top tier, you know, tier 1, tier 2 decks. Which, I mean, on ladder, especially climbing up to, like, you know, high diamond or whatever, you're going to be seeing a lot of different decks. You know, once you hit diamond, you're probably going to see a lot of the meta decks that everybody loves and just uses that 24/7. You probably want to use the other variation whenever you get to that part. But this, I really like. I really like this deck. It's fun. It's different than a lot of the other decks, and it's toxic. You know what I'm saying? I'm no longer the good guy. Of course, this deck does lose to a few things. Dark Ruler No More, just like any deck. A lot of people will comment down and be like, oh, P, lose Dark Ruler No More. Every deck loses Dark Ruler No More. If they get a Lava Golem or a Kaiju, skill issue. You know what I'm saying? They're just better. Also, Forbidden Droplet is a pretty big counter to this deck, but there are ways to counter it. If they use Forbidden Droplet, and let's say they send 3 cards to negate 3 of your monsters, but you have IP Masquerena out, you can actually make the Forbidden Droplet do absolutely nothing by chaining IP Masquerena's effect to the Droplet to link off your monsters, and as long as there's only 2 monsters on the field now and no longer 3 monsters, the Droplet will no longer work and it just will pretty much be negated. Of course, it does suck because you have to get rid of pretty much most of your field in order to counter this, but that is a play you can do to get past the Forbidden Droplet. Yeah, that's the deck. Extremely toxic, extremely fun, and able to make your opponents mad, and you can live out your villain arc to the fullest. But that's gonna be it for this video, man. Thank you all for coming out. I don't know when the next Master Duel video is gonna be. Probably soon. Hopefully soon. We'll have to see what other deck that I have in mind that I really want to work on. You guys have any ideas or any decks that you want me to try? Or maybe another deck that you want me to add to this villain arc? Then, amen. Absolutely leave it down below in the comment section. That's gonna be it for this one, though. Thank you all again for coming out, and last but not least, you guys already know, don't forget to drink water.